What if I told you the biggest challenge to the iPhone 17 isn't coming from Samsung or Google, but from a company that has been quietly climbing the global ladder with insane speed and bold innovation? Xiaomi is stepping right into Apple's territory with the Xiaomi 17, and it isn't just a phone. It's a statement that Apple's dominance is no longer untouchable. The hook is simple. The Xiaomi 17 has come out swinging with features that look like they were pulled straight from the future, while Apple still plays safe with refinement instead of reinvention. The design of the Xiaomi 17 is a blend of elegance and aggression. A slim unibody frame crafted from aerospace-grade aluminum and ceramic with a matte finish that resists fingerprints like a dream. The front is all screen, no gimmicks, no heavy bezels. Just a waterfall OLED display that curves seamlessly into the frame, creating an almost borderless look that makes the iPhone 17's flat edges feel conservative. The display itself is a masterpiece, a 6.9-inch QHD+ AMOLED with 2K resolution, a 165Hz refresh rate, and peak brightness of 4000 nits, making outdoor visibility crystal clear even under direct sunlight. Apple may have its promotion, but Xiaomi takes smoothness to another level, especially with adaptive refresh that can drop as low as 1 Hz to save battery during static use. The under-display camera on the Xiaomi 17 has been refined to near invisibility. No more punch holes or notches, just an uninterrupted cinematic screen experience that Apple still hasn't fully embraced. And it's not just looks. The Xiaomi 17 is powered by Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 chipset built on a 3nm process paired with up to 24GB of LPDDR5X RAM, making it one of the fastest phones on the planet. Apple's A19 Bionic might win in single-core efficiency, but Xiaomi's brute force combined with advanced thermal management means it can sustain high performance for longer without throttling. Gaming on this phone feels like having a handheld console with ray tracing support, haptic triggers built into the frame, and a cooling system inspired by gaming laptops. But here's where Xiaomi really challenges Apple: the camera system. A quad-lens Leica-powered setup that includes a 1-inch 200MP main sensor, a 48MP periscope zoom with 10x optical zoom, a 50MP ultra-wide, and a dedicated portrait lens. Low-light photography is on another level thanks to advanced AI image stacking, giving you shots that look DSLR quality straight out of the pocket. Video recording pushes boundaries with 8K HDR at 60 frames per second, cinematic stabilization, and real-time background replacement powered by on-device AI, something Apple fans will beg for on the selfie front. The Xiaomi 17 hides a 60MP under-display camera with AI skin tone optimization, ensuring your face looks natural, not plastic. In every shot. Battery life is another area Xiaomi wants to embarrass Apple, with a massive 6000 mAh dual-cell battery supporting 200W wired charging that gets you 100% in under 10 minutes and 80W wireless charging that's faster than Apple's wired speeds. This is paired with Xiaomi's battery health AI, which manages charging patterns to extend the lifespan beyond 1600 cycles, almost double what you'd get from the average iPhone. And for those who hate carrying cables, the Xiaomi 17 supports reverse wireless charging up to 30W, letting you charge your earbuds, your smartwatch, or even another phone with ease. Software has always been Xiaomi's Achilles heel compared to Apple's iOS polish, but MIUI 16 running on top of Android 15 now feels smoother, cleaner, and smarter with integrated AI assistants that rival Siri and sometimes even surpass it. Xiaomi's AI is proactive, capable of summarizing emails, generating images on demand, and even adjusting phone performance based on your habits without you asking. And then there's the ecosystem play. Xiaomi is no longer just about phones. The Xiaomi 17 connects seamlessly with their laptops, smartwatches, TVs, electric scooters, and even their upcoming EV cars. Creating a lifestyle rival to Apple's walled garden. Security is another area they've stepped up, with an AI-enhanced on-device privacy engine, end-to-end encrypted calls, and even a dedicated security chip for sensitive data like Apple's Secure Enclave. When it comes to audio, the Xiaomi 17 has dual Harman Kardon tuned speakers with spatial audio, Dolby Atmos support, and even AI-driven adaptive sound that changes based on the room you're in. The haptics are refined to mimic real-world textures, so when you type on the virtual keyboard, it feels like tapping real keys, something Apple fans rave about. But Xiaomi is now matching connectivity is next gen, with 5G speeds that reach over 12 gigabits per second, Wi-Fi 7 support, and ultra-wideband for device tracking and sharing files at lightning speed. And then comes the price. While Apple's iPhone 17 Pro Max could easily cross $1,500, Xiaomi undercuts dramatically, offering the Xiaomi 17 starting around $899, with even the Ultra variant staying under $1,200. This isn't just competition, it's disruption. Xiaomi is delivering cutting-edge innovation for almost half the price, and that makes Apple's loyalists start asking difficult questions. Do you want the prestige of the Apple logo, or do you want the best possible technology for your money? This is the exact challenge the Xiaomi 17 throws at the iPhone 17. It's not just a battle of specs, it's a battle of philosophy, value, and identity in the smartphone world. Every feature, every design choice, every price tag screams that Xiaomi is no longer content with being second place. It wants to be the face of the future smartphone market, and whether Apple admits it or not. The Xiaomi 17 is the first real iPhone killer of its generation, not just because it beats the iPhone on paper but because it makes people rethink loyalty. So now the question is simple. If you were walking into a store today and had both the Xiaomi 17 and the iPhone 17 sitting in front of you, which one would you pick? Would you pay more for Apple's brand and ecosystem, or would you bet on Xiaomi's raw innovation and aggressive pricing that makes luxury tech accessible to more people? Because the smartphone world just got shaken, and the Xiaomi May 17th be the device that forces Apple to truly reinvent itself instead of iterating one more year at a time, and that's why the Xiaomi 17 isn't just another flagship. It's Apple's biggest nightmare dressed in sleek ceramic and glass. And the battle has only just begun. Now let's talk cameras in real-world use, because this is where Apple has always built its reputation. The iPhone 17 will no doubt bring improvements to its computational photography, with Apple's Deep Fusion and Photonic engine doing wonders with image processing. But Xiaomi 17 isn't just catching up. It's redefining the field with hardware so advanced it gives software more room to shine. That 1-inch 200MP main sensor is something Apple still hasn't dared to implement. It lets in so much light that even night shots look like they were taken in daylight without artificial brightening tricks. The detail level is so sharp you can zoom into a photo and still read text on a sign in the background. Apple's iPhone 17 might process faces better with skin tones, but Xiaomi now partners with Leica to ensure every shot has a professional-grade color profile that can be tweaked between Leica Vibrant and Leica Authentic modes. That means whether you want cinematic drama or natural lifelike tones, you can switch instantly. And here's the kicker. Xiaomi's 48MP periscope zoom lens goes up to 120x hybrid zoom. Apple's iPhone 17 will still be capped around 6x optical zoom. Maybe 10x if rumors are right, but Xiaomi goes way beyond that for moonshots, stadium details, or faraway landscapes. The 50MP ultra-wide lens isn't just wide, it's distortion-free at the edges, something most phones still struggle with. It also doubles as a macro shooter, letting you capture close-up textures like fabric or insects without blurring details. The dedicated portrait lens on Xiaomi 17 uses depth mapping AI to mimic professional DSLR bokeh, giving portraits a creamy background blur. With precise edge detection, Apple's iPhone 17 portrait mode will still be excellent, but it's software-driven. While Xiaomi is combining software with specialized optics and video recording, is where the real challenge gets heated. Xiaomi 17 records 8K HDR video at 60 frames per second. Stabilized with advanced gimbal-like OIS and EIS systems working together, Apple may still stick to 4K HDR as its sweet spot, focusing on consistency rather than pushing resolution. But Xiaomi's cinematic stabilization makes handheld shots look like they were done with a rig, a serious advantage for creators and vloggers. It even allows real-time background replacement without a green screen, something Apple's ecosystem doesn't offer yet. So if you're a content creator, the Xiaomi 17 isn't just a phone. It's practically a pocket studio. Now let's move into performance in real-world scenarios. Apple's A19 Bionic chip is expected to dominate benchmarks with efficiency and single-core performance, but Xiaomi 17's Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 paired with 24GB of RAM allows for heavy multitasking that Apple's 8GB or 12GB RAM just can't match. Open 30 apps on Xiaomi 17 and they stay alive in memory, switching between them instantly without reloads. Apple's iOS manages apps efficiently but still limits background activity for battery reasons. So power users feel the difference. Gaming on Xiaomi 17 is on another level because it supports console-level features like hardware-accelerated ray tracing. That means lighting, shadows, and reflections in mobile games look shockingly realistic. Add the built-in haptic shoulder triggers and liquid cooling, and suddenly the Xiaomi 17 feels like a portable gaming console. Apple's iPhone 17 will still dominate in optimized games thanks to Apple Arcade and developer partnerships, but raw graphical fidelity is higher on Xiaomi's side. Now let's talk about displays again. In actual daily use, Apple's iPhone 17 Pro Max will have a fantastic OLED display with promotion, 120Hz refresh, and amazing color calibration. But Xiaomi's 165Hz display with QHD Plus resolution makes scrolling buttery smooth and gaming insanely immersive. Watching HDR content is breathtaking with Xiaomi's 4000 nits brightness, which blows away Apple's rumored 2500 nits. That means on a sunny day outdoors, you'll see your screen more clearly on Xiaomi than on iPhone. Even the under-display camera means no notches or cutouts, so movies and games feel uninterrupted, like holding a futuristic slab of glass. Now let's hit one of the biggest deal breakers for people: charging and battery. Apple's iPhone 17 will probably stick around 30W wired charging and 20W MagSafe wireless charging, taking over an hour to fully charge meanwhile. Xiaomi's 200W charging is a game changer, bringing you from 0 to 100% in under 10 minutes, and even if you go wireless, 80W gets you a full charge in less than half an hour. That kind of convenience changes how you use a phone because battery anxiety disappears completely. You don't need to plan charging overnight. You just plug in while getting ready for work and you're at 100% before you leave the house. Apple fans might argue battery health, but Xiaomi's AI battery management extends lifespan to over 1,600 cycles, meaning it actually lasts longer than many iPhones in practice. And then there's reverse wireless charging at 30W, powerful enough to top up other phones. Not just earbuds. Imagine being the friend who saves others' devices at a party while your iPhone-carrying buddies search for outlets. That's the kind of everyday difference that makes Xiaomi 17 feel futuristic while iPhone 17 feels behind. Now let's go into ecosystem wars, because this is where Apple usually wins. Apple's seamless iCloud, AirDrop, iMessage, and device integration are unmatched for most people, but Xiaomi is catching up fast with its HyperOS system designed to unify phones, smartwatches, smart TVs, laptops, tablets, earbuds, home devices, and even electric cars. With a Xiaomi 17, you can unlock your laptop instantly, transfer files wirelessly, use your phone as a second camera in video calls, and even sync your EV car dashboard automatically. Apple may still have the edge in polish, but Xiaomi is now offering the same lifestyle integration at a fraction of the cost, and because it's Android-based, Xiaomi keeps the freedom Apple doesn't, like connecting with Windows laptops or third-party accessories without walls. Now let's dive into audio and haptics. Apple's iPhones have strong stereo speakers and excellent haptics, no doubt about it, but Xiaomi 17's Harman Kardon tuned speakers with Dolby Atmos deliver richer bass, louder volume, and cinematic surround effects that fill a room. Its haptics are precise enough to simulate different textures, so playing a racing game feels like road vibrations under your fingers, not just generic buzzes. Combine that with AI-driven adaptive audio that changes depending on the acoustics of your room, and suddenly you're carrying a mini home theater in your pocket. And that's before we even get into satellite communication support, next-gen 5G speeds, Wi-Fi 7, and ultra-wideband tech built in for spatial device awareness. Apple will have similar features, but Xiaomi's raw numbers in connectivity push it slightly ahead. Now let's move into productivity, because this is where power users really feel the difference between a Xiaomi 17 and an iPhone 17. Apple's iOS 18 paired with iPhone 17 will definitely bring new AI enhancements, Siri upgrades, and better app integration, but Apple still locks multitasking to a very simplified format. You can use split screen on iPad but not on iPhone, and that's something Xiaomi 17 completely changes. On Xiaomi 17, you can run 3 apps side by side with floating windows, resize them instantly, and even pin one app as a mini screen while you do something else. Imagine editing a document, watching a YouTube tutorial, and chatting with colleagues all at the same time on one screen. That kind of workflow is not possible on an iPhone because Apple restricts the multitasking experience to maintain simplicity, but Xiaomi is offering real desktop-class performance on a smartphone. And speaking of desktop class, the Xiaomi 17 has a PC mode that activates when you connect it to a monitor, keyboard, or mouse. It turns the phone into a full productivity hub with taskbars, resizable windows, and drag-and-drop file management that essentially eliminates the need to carry a laptop in many scenarios, something Apple doesn't allow with iPhone. Apple users need a MacBook or iPad for that workflow, while Xiaomi 17 consolidates it into one device. Now let's talk AI integration, because this year is all about intelligent assistants. Apple will upgrade Siri with deeper on-device processing, but Siri has been historically limited compared to Google Assistant or other AI platforms. Xiaomi 17, on the other hand, is powered by Xiaomi HyperMind AI, which learns your daily habits and adapts the phone around you. If you always call someone at 8 p.m., the phone will suggest the call automatically before you even think about it. If you open your smart curtains every morning, HyperMind will sync with your smart home and do it for you. And here's the really futuristic part: the AI doesn't just respond to commands, it predicts needs. That's the kind of integration that makes the Xiaomi 17 feel like a true assistant rather than just a phone. Apple's iPhone 17 AI will be polished and secure, but Xiaomi's AI feels more experimental, flexible, and futuristic. Now let's dive into security and privacy, because that's where Apple usually holds the crown. The iPhone 17 will absolutely have industry-leading Face ID, end-to-end encryption, and privacy-first policies, but Xiaomi 17 isn't lagging behind. It introduces ultrasonic under-display fingerprint scanning, 3D facial recognition, and AI-driven fraud detection. It can detect unusual behavior like forced unlocking and automatically lock down sensitive data. It also has a private mode where certain apps and files only appear with your biometric scan, something Apple doesn't offer in the same flexible way. And because Xiaomi HyperOS is designed to work with enterprise-level security, It even offers virtual SIM isolation to prevent hacking attacks through network exploits. Now let's break down pricing, because this is where the challenge becomes crystal clear. Apple's iPhone 17 Pro Max will likely start around $1,299 and go up depending on storage. Xiaomi 17, despite offering arguably more futuristic hardware, will start significantly lower, around $899 to $999 in global markets, and even less in China. That means Xiaomi is offering more RAM, faster charging, bigger sensors, higher resolution displays, and more versatile features for several $100s less than Apple for consumers. This creates a serious question. Are you paying for performance or the Apple logo? Because when you put the two side by side, Xiaomi 17 looks like the bargain of the year compared to iPhone 17, but brand power and ecosystem lock-in are still Apple's strongest weapons, keeping millions of users loyal no matter what. This is why the Xiaomi 17 versus iPhone 17 showdown isn't just about specs, it's about philosophy. Apple's iPhone 17 is designed for simplicity, ecosystem control, and long-term stability. Xiaomi 17 is designed for raw power, futuristic hardware, and pushing boundaries. Without hesitation, one side offers polish and trust, the other side offers innovation and disruption, and in 2025, the clash is more exciting than ever before. Thank you for watching video. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, and share.